Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Education Platform's 2-year anniversary. Firstly, we'd like to thank all of our viewers and top fans for coming here today, so we can celebrate Education Platform for how long it's been, for 2 years. Now, before we begin, I'm reading you John's 3 verse 16, and it states that, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that who shall ever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." The word of the Lord. Now, since it's Black History Month, we're going to be talking about the Black African Americans who helped change the United States for the better, and to learn from our past so we can better plan our future. Firstly, we're going to talk about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is the 16th president of the United States who signed the Declaration of Independence in 1981, which helps to end slavery. He was born in Lorry County in Kentucky. Next is Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was the former president of South Africa who won the Nobel Peace Prize. It was also awarded to Frederick William de Klerk. Next is Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the American minister who wrote the "I Have a Dream" speech to help people to have civil rights and equality in the United States during that time. Last is Ida B. Wells. Ida Wells was an American investigative journalist, educator, and early leader in the civil rights movement, which helped to grant people equality during this time. Now, our first lesson for today is about the types of succession, which are the first and second. Now, the primary succession is the area that is happening with lichen and moss. And for the secondary succession is something that is coming back in time, talking about an area that has plants and animals, such as the following ecological disturbance, such as forest fires, tornadoes, and a flash flood. Our next lesson is about greater than, less than, or equal. Yeah, greater than means the number is higher than the other. An example is 5 is greater than 3, because 3 is the lowest number and 5 is the highest number. Next, less than is when a number is less than the other number. For this example, 10 is less than 20 because it's the lowest number and 20 is the highest number. Last is equal. Equals when numbers are the same, so it's equal to each other, such as 5 and 5, which means they are equal. Now, our fourth lesson is about ape ancestors, which thrives to the question, do humans evolve from ape ancestors? The answer is no, because humans don't evolve from ape ancestors like they show in shows or movies. Humans evolve from common ancestors. Yeah, the ape ancestors. Now, the types of ape ancestors are the orangutan, the chimp, the gorilla, and the bonobo. The hominy means ape ancestors. For Homo sapien, it's a human. Now, next is about biology. Biology is one of the branches of science, is the study of life in an organisms. Also the word bio. Bio means life. And also another word for it would be biodiversity. Yeah, biodiversity is the study of life. Next, hyphens and dashes. When you're using a hyphen, the hyphen is the punctuation type that makes two words contract with one another, such as example statewide. For dashes, they're used the same way as the hyphen, but it makes the two words dependent or independent, such as you can't. And now, next is conjunctions, all about conjunctions. What we know about conjunctions is that conjunctions are the words we use to split two complete or incomplete sentences using the fanboys, such as for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so, which what fanboy stands for. For example, the boy was heading to the grocery store, but he had to make a stop for supplies that was needed. But is the conjunction in this sentence. Many girls are growing plants and they need some seeds in order to grow plants. And is the conjunction used in the sentence. Next is about alliteration. A review from a few months live stream. Now, what we know about alliteration already is the letter that is being repeated in the sentence, such as for the examples. An ant can't climb up an anthill. And in this sentence, the letter A is being repeated in the sentence. Second, Peter peeled a pear. And the letter P is the alliteration in the sentence. Next are dependent and independent causes. First, a dependent cause is a complete thought in a sentence. Examples: hello, I'm going to the beach. Do you want to come along? Second, I am not a chicken. I'm a human. Now, next, independent cause is an incomplete thought in a sentence, such as the examples. Next, simplifying equations. When you're simplifying, you always multiply the two numbers in the equation, such as example, 2x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0, and parentheses 2x plus 3. Now, simplifying 2x squared times 2x equals 4x squared, and 3x squared, now 2x squared times 2, for 3 times 2, that's 6, and the same here, 3 and 2 equals to 6. And now, I'm going to be reading you a story about a scarlet letter, which provides information for us to know. Nathaniel Hareborn, born in Salem, Massachusetts in 1804. It starts from the beginning. It is a little remarkable that though disclinted to talk over much of myself and my affairs at the fireside, and to my personal friends, an autobiographical impulse should twice in my life have taken possession of me in addressing the public. The first time was 3 or 4 years since, when I favored the reader inexcusably and for no earthly imagine with a description of way of life in the deep quietude of an old manse. And now, because Beyond my deserts, I was happy enough to find a listener, or on the former occasion, I again seized the public by the button and talk of a 3 years' experience in a custom house. The example of the famous P.B. clerk of his parish was never more faithfully followed. The truth seems to be, however, that when he cast his leaves forth upon the wind, the author up, but the few who will understand him better than most of his schoolmates and life-mates. Some authors indeed do far more than this, and indulge themselves in such confidential depths of revelation and mind of perfect sympathy, as if he printed the book, thrown at large the wide world, were certain to find out the divided segment of the writer's own nature, encircled existence, to speak all even where he speak impersonally, but as thoughts are frozen with his audience, it made pardonable to imagine that a friend, a kind of an apprehensive, thought to be the closest friend, is listening to our talk. It starts from now. In the native town of Salem, at the head of what, half a century ago in the days of old King Derby, but a bustling wharf, but which is now burdened with decayed warehouses, and exhibits few or down of mechanology length, discharge hides, or near at hand of Nova Scotia schooner. Furthermore, on the left hand, as you enter the door, is a certain room or office about 15 feet square, and a lofty height, with two of its arch windows commanding a view of the aforesaid deplated wharf, at the third looking across narrow lane and along a portion of Derby Street. All three give glimpses of the shops of grocers, blockmakers, slop sellers, and ship chandlers. Now what we're learning from the story so far is that a woman committed adultery, which the one of the 10 commandments say not to commit adultery. It was also related to Christianity in the Bible, in which the punishment of that woman is that she had to be sentenced to death, or be taken to prison. Into prison. Also, they stitched a letter A on her, which stands for adultery. Now, I'm going to be reading you the story about Jesus healing the blind man, and it starts from the beginning. When he has come down from the mountain, in Matthew chapter 8, verse 1. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes follow him, and behold, there came a leper. Jesus found the blind man. Jesus found the blind man going through a sense of non-vision. So he put his hand on him, and his eye and his vision became normal, which he was healed. Next, I'm going to be telling you about Italy. Italy is the country in Europe that has amazing sights to see, such as in the cities of Rome, Venice, Florence, Naples, Pompeii, Pisa, and Verona, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Colosseum, and the Giotto's Bell Tower. In Venice, there aren't any roads. There are waterways, which you need to take a gondola for transportation. Yeah, Italy's most famous foods are pizza, pasta, risotto, polenta, or cured meats, seafood, gelato, also known as ice cream, coffee, and famous tipples. Next is the Meat Inspection Act. The Meat Inspection Act was the law passed to prohibit people from selling tainted or dirty reused products in 1906, which was supported by the Jungle Book. Our next lesson is about child labor. Now, during the early century, many children had to work. It began in Great Britain in the close of the 18th century. During the Industrial Revolution, children had to work. The Industrial Revolution saw the rise of factories in need of workers. Children were ideal employees, but they could be paid less, were often of smaller stature, so could attend to more minute tasks, and were less likely to organize and strike against the pitiable working conditions. Now, our last lesson is about food groups, a review from our old live streams. Now, what we know about the food groups is that the food groups are fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy, and protein. First, fruits. The types of fruits are apples, bananas, lemons, mangoes, raspberries, and pineapples. For vegetables, they are carrots, potatoes, rutabagas, tomatoes, celery, and broccoli. Now, for grains, it's oatmeal, rice, cereal, and bread. For dairy, it's milk, butter, ice cream, and cheese. Now, knowing all these food groups will help you to stay healthy during the day, and give you energy. Now, firstly, we'd like to thank everyone for participating and joining us for our anniversary today. And make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and like and share on Facebook. We're counting on all our viewers to support us and to promote us. Now, if you want to see new videos, you can go on Facebook or go on our YouTube page and click our new videos. Or if you want to visit our site, go to educationplatform.card.co and click the Learn More button to learn more. Now, thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.